So in front of you, I hope everybody has a copy of this booklet. And what we have tried to encapsulate is a lot of what you've heard today, where we are headed, and to put into a concise form what this campaign is, all of the initiatives, and where we're headed. The exciting part of that is that you all have taken the time to be with us here today, and I hope now you share our enthusiasm about what's in front of us, what we've already accomplished, and the impact that it's already had at Brooks. What you've also heard is what's next on our list and how important that is for the future success of the school. That since once we leave here today, we will continue to work on the arts piece. We will continue to go out and spread the word, and we would love your thoughts, your help, and your enthusiasm as well to continue to do that. If you go to the back page of your booklet, this is the sheet of needs that explains all of the pieces that go into a $60 million capital campaign. The first piece being the chapel, which you all were just in, I think is a wonderful testament to the commitment that we have to community at Brooks, to all of us coming together in one place on a regular basis, and to making sure that that happens from now going forward. For us to assure that space for this size school, I think was very important for us, and for us to have achieved that in such style, I think is a testament to our commitment. For those of you who made it out to the turf field, whether or not it was after lunch today or some other time, again, a fabulous facility for our community where we gather in times of great celebration and just to be together as a community. So again, something we have accomplished at the cost of about $2 million, and that we opened last fall. Center of campus, you've seen some of it today as you've been here with us. The two gates, the gate down by the library and the gate up by the Wilder Dining Hall, which closed Main Street for just pedestrian traffic. And that has had a huge impact on how we move together as a community on this campus. For us to not feel like we're dodging cars or going around parked cars as we move from the academic center up to lunch, back down, has been a real boost to our community as we spend time together outside and connecting in that way. After dinner, it's nice to see groups of students congregating outside of the dining hall and really making it more of a pass through our campus and a place to gather. So that's the beginning of the $2 million that we're spending on the center of campus and the building of that bypass road that connects the east and the west side of campus. So the two projects that are near and dear to our heart next, we have heard about in great detail today. So the endowment for financial aid, we hope we've made a strong case for that this morning and the need for it, and that we're going to go out and raise money for that. And we see that as being really essential. The Visual and Performing Arts Center, a community space for this entire campus. We've identified the need, we've built the program, and now we need to get that building done. We also have $2 million in there for endowment for faculty support, and that just gives John the ability to acknowledge, to support, to give added incentives to our exceptional faculty who work with our kids every day. And so that money will go into the endowment and allow for about $90,000 on an annual basis for John to work with teachers who want continuing education or are doing something exceptional with our students. And then the last piece that I'm happy to announce is that for our $60 million goal, $11 million of that is our annual fund, our Brooks Fund. And so we are now in the beginning of year 3 of a 5-year campaign, and so we've already raised a little over $4 million in the Brooks Fund of a total of 11 as we get to the end of our 5-year period. So what I'd like to show you here is where the money that we have raised to date has been spent. And so at the top of our chart, you'll see the 2 completed projects of the chapel and the turf, and then also the road and the infrastructure work that we've done to date. So we have collected to date a little over $3.2 million for the chapel in restricted dollars. We then were fortunate enough to have a great deal of unrestricted gifts come into us, and so we spent an additional 1.7 of unrestricted dollars to pay for the entire chapel, which was a $5 million project. So again, not taking on any debt, fully funding that project at the tune of $5 million. Turf project, restricted dollars a little over $1 million, a little under $1 million that we used in unrestricted dollars that came in for the campaign, again, to fully fund that project. We used undesignated dollars. Somehow someone didn't want to name the new road or a gate. So unrestricted dollars, which allowed us to do that work on campus that has really been transformational for us. The good news is that we have continued to build support for this art center, and as it is gaining momentum, we have a little over $6 million in restricted commitments for that center to make sure that it got started, that we were able to think about it in a serious way at this school, and that it was something that we were committed to. As it is a high priority for us, and we would love to break ground on it somewhere in the nearer term of John's timeline, we are also committing the other unrestricted dollars that we have gotten in pledges and commitments to this date to that project, which is bringing us a little over $10 million so far committed in restricted and unrestricted gifts for the Arts Center. So for a $28 million building, we have a little over $17 million left to raise for that building. Financial aid and support, again, almost $2 million raised for that towards our total of $10 million. The nice thing about endowment for financial aid, as soon as we get those dollars, we can put them right into the endowment and they can start to work for us. So it's not something we need to raise the whole $10 million until it can start to work for us. So that added $2 million into our endowment is really helpful as we begin to look, especially for the next admission season, into how can we start this process of adding those extra kids into the program. The faculty support, that is the beginning of new endowed faculty chair. And so again, building on that is an ongoing piece with obviously some money left to do there. So what I like to say is, so in the capital funds raised, we're a little over $21.5 million to date towards our goal of $49 million in capital needs. So that's feeling like we're in a very good place to launch a $60 million campaign with that much capital raised. And as I mentioned, a little over $4 million encompassing the first 2 years of the Brooks Fund. As of 6/30/15, we don't have any dollars in for this current Brooks Fund year in these totals towards that, which are bringing us to a little over $25.5 million raised to date in cash, pledges, and intentions for this campaign. Anybody have questions on that?
What's the difference between Brooks Fund and unrestricted?
So the Brooks Fund, it's a good question. The Brooks Fund goes to current year operating support. So it helps make up that gap. It helps to pay for the non-endowment portion of financial aid. It helps to pay for team uniforms, but it's 10% of the operating budget is the Brooks Fund. Whereas this unrestricted capital is really for capital expenditures. It won't be used for the operating budget. The final slide I'd love to share with you is, as we've created a table of gifts of what it's going to take for us to reach our $49 million capital goal, we've created this table. Again, it's where we are today based on the gifts and the prospects that we currently have in mind. What I hope you see in this is that the leadership support already in this campaign is phenomenal. And it is a testament to our commitment as a school to work together to get something done. That to date in this campaign, we have the 3 largest gifts ever made in the history of the school. So to me, this says that we are well on our way. We still have a lot of work to be done, but confidently we launch a campaign for $60 million for Brooks School on very sure footing. I'd like to open it up if people have questions about those initiatives.